Hello sailors, you join us in Oban. With family due to visit soon, we decided now would be a good time to check out a couple of options for places to take them. So in this week's episode, we enter the Sound of Mull and anchor in charming Loch Aline. But first things first, it's time for some fish and chips.
It continues. We're at Oban. Oban fish and chips. Supposed to be the best in Oban. Supposed to be the best in Scotland, according to a few people. For the first time on this trip, we have a split decision.
Yes.
I think crispy chips, delicious batter, beautiful fish, although thin fish and small fish, it was beautiful. I think they were better than John Long's in Belfast.
I'm sticking with John Long's. I think although this one had such nice texture and it was really nice fish, I just think the chunkier fish that we had in Belfast gave it the edge, and I think I like the chips a bit better. I think they were just chunkier chips.
So we need to check the subsections and bylaws to figure out what happens now. Actually, let's just go and have a whiskey cocktail instead.
Yui, hey baby, can I have the winch handle? Rob's trying to fish, but the seagulls think his spinners are a fish. I think they're going to try and steal them.
They're not seagulls, I don't know what they are, but they're confused by my spinner.
I think they're
I hope they
terns.
don't go for it.
The tidal races around here are a little bit crazy. So the tide is coming this way with us, but then you could see there was this great big race coming off that part of the Mull, and then there was a race going this way, and of course where they're all meeting they're going a bit crazy and churny, but nothing particularly uncomfortable for us. It's quite a calm day, I would say. In fact, the most uncomfortable it got for us was when the ferry went past and gave us like a 2 metre swell. Cheers, ferry. We're getting this sort of weird crisscross formation with the waves. We've got some coming this way and then some going this way. And when they meet it just gets a little bit confused. They're not big waves or anything, it's just quite strange to watch them going against each other like that. Just made my first decision as skipper. I'm a skipper today, and we had a nice breeze coming through the sound. I said let's get the Genoa up, and we're now doing 5.5 knots just on the Genoa, and we have beautiful silence. This is us going south of the North Cardinal Buoy. We're so naughty. I think this guy's going to bring us some wake. The sun is shining. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that turquoise water. There's a small stretch of white sand down there.
What are you talking about? It's always like this.
Reach out's over there in the distance. Very pretty. This is how obedient our dog is. Yui! Yui! Yui, I know you can hear me. Yui! I don't think this could look more Scottish if it tried. Dark greens, greys, but a little bit eerie and quite restful. I was a bit worried about coming to this Anchorage because it's exposed to the south, so it wasn't actually recommended for the weather that we're having this evening. It's going to be gusting. It's supposed to be gusting 23, but in here, we're kind of spinning around a little bit. We've got 40 metres of chain out, which I think is the most we've ever had to put out. But we're spinning about, but we're not like dragging. There's no juddering on the anchor. We're pretty settled here, and the other people have anchored around us. They're the same. So The weather tomorrow is supposed to be quite similar. I think it's going to be gusting up to about 30 at lunchtime. Slightly from the southwest, so it might give us a bit more protection. Are you barking at the bird, Yui? Silly bear. But yeah, hope you're enjoying the view, because I am.
Well, what a difference a few hours makes. Blue sky, sunshine on a beautiful lazy Sunday morning here in Loch Aline. Aline? My Scottish pronunciation is still on point. Bit tired this morning. It was blowing an absolute hoolie last night. We were on anchor in the south end of the loch. Whenever you get like 30 knots plus on anchor, it tends to be a fairly sleepless night. It's really noisy. The wind just howls through, and it rained biblical proportions. It was as if there were 1,000 little, what do you call them, nymphs with little hammers on the deck last night, just tip-tapping away all night. Good thing is the mast didn't leak, which is tremendous, so our fix there has worked. Unfortunately though, as I was creeping about in the middle of the night, we have new leaks, and I don't know where these are coming from, but they're going to have to be investigated as well. But it was absolutely horrendous rain, so you know. But yeah, we're anchored in 10 meters of water here, because it is quite a deep anchorage. So, and the thing is, the mooring field itself is actually quite busy. It's full of people on moorings. I mean, look at the size of that little boat on its size of its mooring ball. I think the mooring ball was it's like 4 times the size of it. Anyway, what that means is it's difficult to actually find a decent spot to anchor. So we had to anchor in 10 meters, which is actually quite deep for an anchorage. But the chain held up really nicely. We could only put 40 meters out because of the swinging room, essentially. Yeah, when the wind howls and you feel the boat pulling during the middle of the night, you got to get up and you got to check. You can't just try and sleep through it. Well, I can't try and sleep through it. So yeah, a bit tired this morning, but I'm absolutely buzzing that it's a nice day. So we're going to go up to Ardtonish estate, which we went to yesterday in the rain, but today we're going to go up there in the sunshine, hopefully pick up some nice local meat to cook up a storm later on.
We're on the shores of Loch Aline? Loch Aline? I think it's pronounced more like Loch Aline. It's very picturesque when it's not absolutely teeming down with rain. And one of the lovely things about this journey and coming around from Eastbourne all the way back to North Shields, the long way, is all the different walks we get to take Yui on. She's currently refusing to walk because Rob's gone to the bins and she doesn't want to go without him. Come on! You'll catch up. Oh, you plonker. That is a big tree.
It's not a big tree. I thought it was a giant redwood. There's a test you can do with a giant redwood tree. Even though it's a massive tree, it's got really soft bark, so you can punch it. You punch that tree, you'll break your hand.
My parents know this area quite well because they often get the car ferry over to Mull, which is where they like to go on holiday if they're holidaying in the UK. and they're big bird watchers and wildlife photographers, so we've been told to keep an eye out for otters and sea eagles while we're around here. I just walked all the way to the farm shop and Rob's picked up some goodies. We've got some lamb and some beef mince as well, so what magic are you going to work with those?
Well, today we're going to have a nice lamb curry with some fried rice and mince, and cook anything with mince. Tomorrow, I don't know.
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie? It's beef mince. That will be a cottage pie.
Cottage pie works too.
I can do a cottage pie.
That would be very nice.
Cottage pie it is.
Yay! The sun is shining and it's not going to be sunny again for at least a week, so I'm thinking of going swimming, but the water is freezing. I've stuck my feet in there and I'm scared of the jellyfish, so I'll see if I can build myself up to it.
Day 75. Faye goes for a wild swim. How is it, Faye?
I'm going to be honest, it's really effing cold.
What did you expect?
Need Wim Hof.
What's he going to do for you?
Coach me through it.
Just breathe, that's all he says.
Where's that jellyfish? Where's that seal actually? Right, wild swimming. Can't really see the appeal.
You've only been doing it for 2 minutes.
Not as invigorating as they make out.
You seem fairly invigorated. I think I'll stick to fishing.
That is enough of that nonsense. I've ticked that box. I never need to wild swim in Scotland again. And on that freezing cold note, join us next week when we continue west to pretty Tobermory. Until then, sailors, like, comment, subscribe, and fair winds.